All right, today we're going to tackle a simple idea that is totally changing how we build, well, everything online. It's called a headless CMS. Now, that sounds super technical, I know, but trust me, it's the solution to a problem I bet you've run into more times than you can count.
Okay, let's just start with a simple question. Have you ever felt completely stuck in this loop? You need to change just one tiny sentence on your website, but for some reason, it requires calling in a developer. Or maybe you've got this amazing blog post that would be perfect for your new mobile app, but the content is so baked into your website's design that you just can't get it out. You know that frustration? That's not a you problem. It's actually a sign of a much bigger issue with how we've been building things for years.
And that problem, that whole feeling of being trapped, it really comes down to the way websites have been traditionally built, using something called a traditional content management system, or a CMS.
So think about systems like WordPress. They've been the standard for, ever. In that world, the content you write, which we'll call the body, and the design that shows it to the world, the head, are basically fused together. They're one and the same, locked into a single, rigid package.
Now, this coupled approach, it causes some pretty big headaches. Because everything is bundled up, your content is essentially trapped. You can't just easily take that blog post and pop it into a mobile app, or onto a smartwatch, or on some digital kiosk. And inside a company, it creates a massive bottleneck, where content folks are always waiting on developers to make simple tweaks, which just slows everything way down.
So, if the problem is that the head and the body are permanently stuck together, the solution is actually kind of beautiful in its logic. You just separate them. Yeah, you literally chop off the head. And that is the core idea behind what we call a headless architecture.
So we move from that one big clunky block to this new decoupled model. Now the content, the body, just exists on its own. It has no idea and frankly doesn't care how or where it's going to be displayed. It's what we call format agnostic, just ready and waiting to be sent to any platform you can think of.
And it works in a really simple two-step way. First, you've got the body. This is your central hub, your single source of truth for all your content, all the text, all the images, all the data. And second, you have the heads, and notice that's plural. A head can be your website, of course, but it can also be an iPhone app, an Android app, an email campaign, even a digital sign in a store. You can attach as many different heads as you need to that one body.
Okay, but this probably brings up a pretty obvious question, right? If the content and the design are totally separate, how on earth do they communicate with each other? Well, the answer is through this magic messenger called an API.
The best way to think of an API is like a waiter in a restaurant. Your website, that's the customer, tells the API what it wants. The API then goes to the kitchen, that's your content hub, gets exactly what was ordered, no more, no less, and brings it right back to the table. It's just a super efficient way for different software to talk and share information.
And this waiter is incredibly efficient. It only brings back the exact data that page needs, not a bunch of extra junk. For the person actually using the website or app, this means one thing: speed. Everything feels incredibly fast and responsive because it's not wasting time loading stuff it doesn't need.
Now, this whole idea of separating things isn't just a cool trick for developers. It fundamentally improves the workflow and the final product for every single person who touches the project.
Seriously, this completely changes how teams work together. The content author gets to manage one central library of content. They publish once, and it updates everywhere at the same time. The developer? They get total freedom to use the best, fastest, most modern tools to build any kind of head they want. And the end user? They just get what we all want: a lightning-fast, seamless experience no matter what device they're on.
All right, theory is great, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's use a popular headless CMS called Sanity.io to see how this all comes together for the people actually creating the content.
So, for a content author, their entire world is something called the Sanity Studio. And let's be super clear, this is not the website's backend. It's a completely separate app, custom-built just for creating and managing content. It's clean, it's organized, and it's perfectly tailored to their exact needs.
So picture this. You're a marketer. You log into the studio, you find the services section, click on social media marketing, you see a simple form with a couple of fields, you update the description, you hit publish, and that's it. It's done. The new content is instantly live on the website. No code, no developer ticket, no waiting. You are in total control.
You know, the entire philosophy really boils down to this one simple sentence. The developer builds the system once. The author updates the content anytime. This frees up developers to build amazing experiences,
while giving the content team the agility they need to manage everything on the fly.
So when you get right down to it, it all comes back to one incredibly powerful idea. By decoupling your content from how it's presented, you unlock a level of flexibility and speed that was impossible before. You create your content once, and you can truly deliver it anywhere.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? As we move into a world filled with smart devices, watches, and digital experiences we haven't even dreamed of yet, separating our content from any single platform isn't just a nice idea anymore. It feels absolutely essential. So, is this headless approach the new standard? Is it the fundamental blueprint for the future of digital content? It's definitely something to think about.